Hello everyone, I'm Easy History. Today, we'll be discussing the life of Vladimir Putin, the resurgent and rejuvenating president of Russia. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, the president's full name, is one of the world's longest-serving leaders. He was born in Leningrad, now Saint Petersburg, on October 7, 1952. Putin's father, Vladimir Spiridonovich Putin, was a submarine sailor, and his mother, Maria Ivanovna Putina, was a factory worker. Growing up with his parents was a miracle for Putin, as the war took away his loved ones and nearly destroyed all families in Leningrad. Putin himself lost two of his siblings at a young age. Growing up in a harsh environment surrounded by constantly quarreling, drunken people made Putin a rebellious, tough child. He sought to learn martial arts like judo and karate, but his family did not support him. During his school days in Saint Petersburg, Putin was not an outstanding student. However, he dreamed of becoming a spy from that time on. Putin's graduation from law school surprised many. This was the foundation for Putin to become a KGB Secret Service officer in 1975. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, he left the KGB and returned to Leningrad as a supporter of the political Free Democratic Party led by Anatoly Sobchak. After Sobchak was elected as the mayor of Leningrad, Putin became his first deputy mayor and chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee of the city. After Sobchak's defeat in the 1996 elections, Putin left his position and returned to Moscow with his family. Starting in March 1997, he held the position of Deputy Chief of the Presidential Staff, then Director of the Federal Security Service, FSB, from July 1998 to August 1999. On August 6, 1999, President Boris Yeltsin announced his decision to resign the government led by Prime Minister Sergei Stepashin and nominated Vladimir Putin as the new Prime Minister, which was approved by the parliament. On the same day, Putin was appointed first deputy chairman of the Russian government and the internal leadership. On December 31, 1999, President Yeltsin announced his resignation and recommended Putin to succeed until the official elections at the beginning of 2000. On March 26, 2000, early elections took place in Russia, with 11 candidates running. Putin won 52.94% of the votes in the first round, and the Communist Party candidate Gennady Zhyuryakov came second with 29.21% of the votes. On May 7, 2000, Putin took the oath as president of Russia. On March 14, 2004, Putin ran for his second term as president and received 71.31% of the votes in the first round of voting. His second oath-taking ceremony took place on May 7, 2004. Due to term limits, Putin held the position of Russian Prime Minister from 2008 to 2012. In December 2011, then Russian President Dmitry Medvedev proposed to the State Duma that Putin be nominated as president once again. In the March 2012 election, Putin was elected president and officially took office on May 7, 2012. Since 2012, the term of the Russian president has been extended from 4 to 6 years according to the amendment to the constitution enacted on November 30, 2008. In 2007, Time magazine voted him as Person of the Year. Moreover, in 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016, he was always at the top of Forbes magazine's list of the most powerful people. During the challenging time of his leadership, Putin not only kept Russia united, but also emerged as a superpower with a developing economy, a thriving industry, and a strong military. In his second term, Putin carried out reforms to the outdated armed forces. Russia's defense spending as a percentage of GDP is higher than that of the United States, reaching the allocation of $81 billion in 2015. Under Putin, Russia has restored its geopolitical position in several regions of the world, regaining influence in the Middle East, selling air defense systems to NATO member Turkey, and making weapons deals with America's key ally, Saudi Arabia. Russia is also looking to expand its influence in the African region and globally. Putin has demonstrated to the world that Russia is not easily defeated. Under his leadership, Russia is once again being recognized with respect. The 2014 Sochi Olympics marked Russia's powerful comeback. Also that year, the annexation of Crimea fueled a wave of patriotism and support for President Putin, with approval ratings nearly reaching 90% according to Levada Center polls. President Putin said, Russia's greatest achievement is its strong, double-sized economy. The number of people living in poverty has been halved. However, he acknowledged that the number of people living in poverty is still very large and that efforts must be made to improve. He also stressed the need to eliminate the gap between those with very high and very low incomes. In this area, we have achieved many achievements, but there are still many unresolved problems. Russia has yet to achieve its main economic goal, he admits. We have not yet reached the level of effective labor development. However, we know how, and I believe we can. Putin noted that inflation in Russia was previously around 30%, but is now only 2.2%. Russia's gold and currency reserves are increasing, and we have achieved macroeconomic stability. This creates opportunities for us to take the next steps in improving labor efficiency, attracting investment, including private funds, and changing the economic structure. President Putin believes that his heritage will create a strong driving force for Russia's development and help the country benefit from technological progress. He also aims to improve Russia's political and legal systems to strengthen the unity of the Russian Federation and the solidarity of the people, allowing them to move forward with confidence. Putin's foreign policy perspective is that Russia, along with China, will play a balancing role against the military and political power of the United States. Unlike Yeltsin, Putin has shown a firm stance towards the US. However, Russia and the West are not always in opposition. Putin's foreign diplomats have made significant progress in negotiating with allies and international rivals on the issue of nuclear weapons. Putin has also made great efforts to resolve border issues with China and establish a strong and constructive partnership with Beijing. As a strong advocate for multipolarism, Putin has promoted economic and military cooperation with Asian countries in recent years, which has resulted in many positive agreements, including a major gas deal with China and the export of railway technology to North Korea. One of the reasons for Russia's cancellation of the oil pipeline project to Bulgaria was the deteriorating relationship with the European Union, EU, which has further accelerated Russia's orientation towards Asia. Putin has also boosted Russia's position in the Middle East by supporting the Syrian government and Turkey in the war against opposition groups. President Putin is fluent in German and English and has two daughters, Maria, born in 1985, and Katerina, born in 1986. He is divorced. Putin is a big sport fan and can deadlift 15 to 17 reps. He has won numerous awards in judo and wrestling and was nominated as an honorary chairman of the European Judo Association in 2006. Putin also holds a black belt in karate and was awarded the 8th degree Kyokushinkan title by the International Kyokushinkan Organization for Karate in November 2014. He personally put out a forest fire in the Ryazan region, dove deep into Lake Baikal and the Black Sea, sat behind the wheel of a Formula One racing car, tested a Su-27 fighter jet, and piloted a Tu-160 strategic bombing plane. As an animal lover, Putin is famous for his pet dog Coney, whom he often takes with him everywhere, even during official meetings with foreign guests. A day at work in the Kremlin often extends into the night and ends in the early morning, despite a busy schedule. Surprisingly, he still has enough time to ensure his own health. President Putin is a person who adheres to the schedule he has set for himself. Even if his workday extends into the next morning, he still goes swimming and works out in the gym, said Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. When asked about his core values in life, Putin said, "First and foremost is the essence of life. That is the greatest value. Then comes love and freedom." To date, with the achievements he has brought to Russia, the Russian people have not found anyone more deserving than Putin. They have great trust and reverence for him. There have even been surveys and responses to this unconditional love, which is simply because Putin has regained the position and pride for Russians. Putin has inspired them with a sense of idealism, a passionate love for their country, and perseverance. Although the level of trust in Russian President Putin remains high, it is not as high as before. Nevertheless, with his confidence, determination, and leadership, Putin has convinced the Russian people that he is the leader of the country who always acts for the good of the Russian land and puts the nation first. You've just finished watching the video. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below. Please like and share if you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to Easy History and ring the bell so you don't miss the next exciting content.